Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Fight Back, the flagship show of Fight Back Media Group. It's a pleasure to be here early on Wednesday morning. We don't normally do shows this early, but today is a special day. I've got a breakfast meeting with one of our affiliate partners, Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay. So I got to be here early. You know, got to rise and grind, baby. Got to get it done. Got to get it done soon. Got to get it done now. If you were unfortunate enough to watch the vice presidential debate, then you're going to agree with the topic of our show this morning. Is that it just showed me that there is such a need for Fight Back Media Group. As we listen to Tim Kaine regurgitate the same leftist liberal narrative again and again, as he got it into every single response. That's the deal. Every single solitary response. And that's coaching. That's planned. It isn't because Tim Kaine's stupid. He's wrong, but he's not stupid. It's that's how they were coached, because the idea is to, no matter what, get those themes into every single question, because those things are going to stick. And there's and without something in media to fight back against it, to push it back, to thwart it, then those messages will stick. Almost every question, almost everything that was asked, Tim Kaine always doubled back and mentioned Donald Trump's tax returns. Continuously. On and on, an ongoing theme, because that's the theme of the Clinton campaign right now. Kept going back to that, like a dog with vomit. Kept going back time and time. But you know what? And interrupted and was rude and awful and all that stuff. And I don't really care all about that so much. It's that when they are talking for extended periods of time, and the crap they're saying, that's just not true. On and on again. And that's what we need to fight back against. And that's what mainstream media is complicit in with most of the left, if not all of the left. So that's why we exist. And that's why we have to thrive. That's why we have to thrive, because if we don't, then lies will continue to be the predominant narrative. And we can't afford lies to be the predominant narrative, and that's what we have with mainstream media now. So that's really the crazy part. We're going to go over some of the things that were claimed by Kaine. So we'll see. So we'll be able to see how politics and lies become the narrative, and we can't allow that. That's why we exist. This morning, good morning, Mr. Swanson. Mr. Swanson from the northernmost post of the Fight Back universe up in northern Wisconsin. Good gracious. They say it's cool up there already, sir. All right. Good. All right. Well, I had some. I'm sorry. I had some audio playing in my ear that was driving me a little nutty. Listen, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with more of this morning's Fight Back show here on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio right after these messages. Oh my God, it's in the 60s. Jesus, man. Listen, this show would not be possible if it weren't for our affiliate partners. If it wasn't for people like Gary Knight at New Homes Tampa Bay, if it weren't like Kevin Batts at theredriverchronicle.com. So it is getting near the end of the month, so let's talk about the Red River Chronicle. The Red River Chronicle is a website that is full of fantastic conservative articles, conservative educational tools. I think that that's the coolest thing. Spent 15 years in teaching in the public school system, and you know what? These educational tools are something that you can use yourself, that you can use in a classroom setting, that you can direct students to, sort of on the sly. Because it's, frankly, I think the battle is just like that. If you are if you're working in the public school system, and you're in a social studies classroom, I use social studies because it's the easiest transition. And a student comes to you and says, "Where do I learn more about conservatives?" Well, the very first place you should send them is not townhall.com, is not the Rush Limbaugh site, or even the Willie Lawson show necessarily. You need to send them right to the redriverchronicle.com. Articles written in a scholarly way, primarily information about Oklahoma and Texas, but from a very conservative standpoint. And you know what? Kevin Batts is black, so that helps your students because that throws away and destroys the left's picture of who's supposed to be conservative. So you can also, on that site, that student will have access to Hillsdale College lectures, which I think are invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. And there's also an app that they can purchase. I did. It's all of 99 cents. I purchased it. It keeps you up to date with what's going on the redriverchronicle.com website. That's the redriverchronicle.com website. The finest in conservative information and education. Information is crucial when you're looking to purchase a new home. With so many choices of communities and options, choosing the right one for you and your family can be a daunting task. That's why you need to go to New Homes of Tampa Bay right now, www.newhomestpa.com, and get the information you need. Learn how people save thousands of dollars when purchasing new homes. Buy like the pros. New Homes Tampa Bay, www.newhomestpa.com. All right, well, welcome back. We appreciate you being here so early in the morning. Again, we're going to, we have a breakfast meeting with Gary this morning, and so we thought we'd do this a little early and get the first one today out of the way. This may only be the first one. We may be doing another program on Blog Talk Radio today. We'll have to see how things play out. Frankly, I'll tell you honestly, it depends on if we get to our daily goal. We've got today, we'd like to raise $175. That's 7 people, 7 of you at $25 a piece. Just 7 people, $25 a piece. Our event on Saturday, on the 8th, is quickly approaching. What we're going to do, we're going to simulcast a very important town hall meeting that's being held at the Calvary Christian Center in California, being held and sponsored by Urban Game Changer International, my friend Shirley Huzar. And if you want to know more about Shirley, just go to the Fight Back Media website, and you'll see her being interviewed while she's a delegate, a California Republican delegate at the Republican National Convention. And what you'll find is that she's got a different take on what's happening in urban America. And she was able to get this town hall at two of the largest churches and black churches in the country. One at the Calvary Christian Center. We're going to do that on the 8th. And then the Crenshaw Christian Center, which is even bigger. Crenshaw is one of the largest mega churches in the country, and almost the largest black mega church in the country. And we're having this town hall meeting there that we're simulcasting, and there are expenses that we've got to be able to pay for infrastructure. So if we can get started this morning with $175, that's $25 from 7 people. That's it. You know what? I know, because we get the analytics. We know that there are more than 7 people listening. I know that there are, and you're listening from all over the country. We find that out, not just in Wisconsin, not just here in Tampa, but from everywhere in the country. I mean, California. I know we have listeners in California. We have listeners. We have listeners all over the world, actually. So I know that you're out there. I know that I'm not just here talking to my hand. That I am sure of. So 7 people this morning at $25 a piece. 7 folks. That's it. 7 folks. You know what? I'll be so glad when we reach our budget this month. That way I can stop flipping talking about it. That would make me so incredibly happy. It would just make me happy. Happy, 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 happy. And you want to make me happy, don't you? Don't you want a happy fight back guy? Don't you want a happy warrior? Somebody who will go into the fray with a smile on his face, knowing that he's got some backup, that he's got some resources, right? Don't you want a happy warrior? Yes, you do. And I'll be the happy warrior. But let's see if we can get this done today. That would be great. Let's see. I'm going to look at the geolocations where people are listening from. Of course, we've got Ashland, Wisconsin. Of course, we have that. And Tampa, and Land O'Lakes, and Connors, Georgia, and Roscoe, Illinois, Silver Springs, Maryland, Ottawa, Canada, Lewes, Delaware, Menlo Park, California, and Pasadena, California, amongst the top cities that listen to the show. We also are being broadcast here in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Japan. So I know people are listening. I can see it. We need 7 people. 7. At $25 a piece this morning to make this happen. Just 7. I don't think that's a lot. I think that we can do that. So, cool. Now, back to the debate and back to the narrative. Now, I'm on the CNN page, and one of the op-eds on the CNN page is by Sally Kohn. And it's entitled, "Mike Pence is living on an alternate planet." They just don't stop. She starts off her op-ed with, well, it turns out if you refuse to acknowledge any of the horrible things that Donald Trump has actually said, then it's pretty easy to defend him. The main takeaway from the vice presidential debate, over and over again, listen to this narrative, listen to this language. Over and over again, Democratic VP nominee Tim Kaine tried valiantly to hold Republican Mike Pence accountable for the misogynistic, xenophobic, anti-Muslim, pro-Putin things that his running mate Donald Trump has said, and over again, Pence acted like Kaine was not only making these things up, but doing so actually perpetuating a campaign of insults by simply repeating the things that Donald Trump had said, yet Mike Pence refused to acknowledge. I'm pretty impressed that Kaine's head didn't explode. Mine certainly came close. This is CNN. These are the very same sumbitches that edited video for Hillary, that made Hillary Clinton look better. These are the same people. You know, I learned a long time ago that things aren't fair. A long time ago that things aren't fair. That fair is a place that you judge pigs. That's what fair is. So I'm not looking for fair necessarily. What I'm looking for is honest. And apparently, that's too much. Apparently, that's too much. To look for honest is too much. Fair? Pfft, okay. I get it. You don't like one, you like one better than the other. You like chocolate, you don't like vanilla. All right, I get that. But just to be completely and totally as a, quote, news bureau, news agency, a reporting agency is just insane. Insane. CNN's behavior is just despicable. Absolutely despicable. Awful. All right, we are going to play a clip of 90 seconds where things got a little heated. I don't think it was bad really, but a little heated. Let's see if we can make this play. There'll be a commercial here beforehand probably, and we're going to mute the commercial out because they're not paying me. Oh yeah, that's going to be a commercial. So we're going to mute that out if we can. All right. Where things get a little bit testy. All right, and there we go. Okay. And that audio is not coming through, but that's okay. Okay, and it's again, like I said in the open, it's Tim Kaine saying that somehow Donald Trump must give America his tax returns. Well, what do we know about tax returns? What do we know? We know that it's a tradition, that it's not a requirement, right? Yes, and Paul's right. And we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about the moderator. But we always have to talk about the moderators in where they come from. I can't for the life of me figure out why Reince Priebus and the boys keep continuously turning their candidates over to the Lions. I swear to you, I just don't have any understanding why that is. It isn't just because, Reince and Trump aren't friends. It's not just Trump. They did the same thing to Romney, they did the same thing to John McCain. They've done the same thing to candidates forever since this panel committee on presidential debates has been in existence. It's just stupid and ridiculous. And I'll talk about that too in a little bit. But you know what? It was Tim Kaine continuing to push the same narratives, the same thing again and again and again. The tax returns, what he said about Vladimir Putin, this big argument about whether there's a difference between a dictator and a leader. That somehow, and I'm going to get back. I'm going to get back to this, but this is one of the things the left does. The left decides that they're going to change the meaning of words, that they're going to control the narrative, the story, right? They're going to control it by deciding what words mean. So how can you have a discussion of any substance if one side gets to decide what all the words mean? So Tim Kaine and the liberal left have decided that you can't say that Vladimir Putin is a good leader because he's a dictator. Well, he may, because they believe he's a dictator, and he very well may be a dictator. But that doesn't stop you from leading people. That doesn't stop you from being in charge. That doesn't stop you from being organized and getting stuff done just because you're evil. You know what? This whole idea that we try to put that they're trying to put the idea of leader as someone who's good necessarily is childish and sophomoric, and really plays to the ignorance of the people who are listening, of American people. I think intelligent people, I believe intelligent people can understand that someone, even someone like Mussolini, someone like Hitler, had certain leadership qualities, even with their evilness, that made them good leaders. Or they would not have been able to do the things that they were able to do. There are a lot of evil people who can't get out of their own damn way. But intelligent people can understand, and other people can easily understand that why Vladimir is a good leader. He's not a leader of good, but he's a good leader. I think intelligent people can understand that. Now, Tim Kaine is made this big, huge deal about Donald Trump calling Vladimir Putin a good leader. Well, he is. Now, he's leading his people in the opposite direction of where we need them to go, but he's leading them. And yeah, he is KGB. Who the hell didn't know he was KGB? He's such a good leader. He jacked Hillary Clinton around like a rag doll when she was Secretary of State. If she had done such a good job with this KGB leader, then maybe the relationship with Russia would be different. And when asked about how the reset with Russia went, what he should have said, it was a complete and total and utter failure. Failure. Complete and total failure. Totally. A nightmarish, hellish disaster. And this is why we are living with what we're living with right now when it concerns Russia, when it concerns North Korea, when it concerns China, when it concerns all what's happening in that Pacific Rim, because of Hillary Clinton's lack, and Iran, because of her lack of ability. And she got played by a person who's actually a good leader, a person who actually knows what the hell he's doing. For his own cause, yes. So am I celebrating Vladimir Putin by saying, guess what? He's a good leader? Am I celebrating him? No. Most people in America are smart enough to figure that out. Let me give you another sports analogy. Sorry, ladies. I don't like the New England Patriots. I'm not a fan of Tom Brady. But I would be just an idiot to say that he's not a good leader on the field and he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'd be an idiot. So you've got to give people their due, don't you? You got to acknowledge that your opponent is skilled, don't you? You can acknowledge that they're skilled without acknowledging that they're good, that they have good intentions, right? So Tim Kaine goes on this rant about Donald Trump calling Vladimir Putin a good leader, a great leader, and because he is, as were all of the most evil people who have ever walked the planet. As they all were great leaders in that sense. Not leaders of the great, but had tremendous leadership skills. A lot of leadership skills that we could learn, that a lot of people could learn from. Now, their tactics, brutal, awful, terrible. Well, they're all in the Hitler wing of hell. I get it. Tell me that Genghis Khan was not a great leader. Look at what they were able to accomplish. Now, I know the tactics that they were able to accomplish, how they accomplished, but tell me that Mao, that people in the freaking Obama White House hold up, as a great man, and their favorite world leader, Chairman Mao, who had millions of people executed. How is that different or more terrible than Donald Trump saying that Vladimir Putin is a great leader? Acknowledging the skills of your adversary. Paul writes in the chat room, Tom Brady has served more time for Deflategate than Hillary has for any of her offenses, crimes. At least he got suspended for a month and cost him a little money. Hillary Clinton has broken some of our most serious national security laws and is running around scot-free. And it's even more crazy than that. She's running around scot-free. That's not the craziest part. The craziest part is that she's running for president. Double down. The whole double down thing on the insanity part of this, that not only is she not in jail, but she's actually running for president and being pushed by the mainstream media, which is why we exist here, which is why we continue to exist. Now, yes, espionage laws, broke them all, crushed them into powder. Anybody else would be in a brig. Anybody else would be locked up, would be in Leavenworth by now. They would have had the trial. And the sentence would have been handed down, and that would have been many, many years in Leavenworth. That's just how it is, and that's just the truth. But we have seen what we got to see is that even James Comey, and I found this was really disturbing, is tied to the Clinton Foundation. It is angering. Even James Comey is tied to the Clinton Foundation. So when that's the case, it sort of opened up everybody's eyes and went, oh, well, so that's why. When he says, and this is the part that I think that if I'm Mike Pence, and I'm talking about Hillary Clinton, I simply memorize, because you can't have notes, you can't read, I simply memorize what James Comey said before he decided that there was not going to be prosecution. I would say that the whole idea where he says that she said that she did not have classified email on that private server. The fact is that she did. The fact is that there was even classified information that was top secret at the time, and she lied about that. That she said that she used one device when the fact of the matter is she lied about that and had used multiple devices. What about that, Tim Kaine? What about that? But did you hear Tim Kaine being asked any of these questions? Did you hear Hillary Clinton being asked any of these questions in the first presidential debate? Hell no. Are you going to see one of these talking heads or Anderson Cooper, who I guess who's ever next? I don't know who's next. Ask them these questions. Are you going to? No, we're not. When it was found out that some of her staff or lawyers, staff, or whomever, had hit some of these devices, Blackberries or whatever, with hammers to destroy them, explain why that is. Give me an explanation, Hillary Clinton, why your staff was destroying what could have been potential evidence. How come? Because destroying evidence is also a felony in these crimes. So it isn't like you wouldn't have any company in the slammer. All your friends would be there too. All your staff would be there too. Y'all could work out together. Y'all could go to the prison library together. Thanks, Paul. The second presidential debate is on Sunday. Sunday. Who agrees to this? What the hell is wrong with Reince Priebus? We've got to replace, win, lose, or draw. The Republican Party has got to replace Reince Priebus. What an idiot. Washington University in St. Louis, that's in St. Louis, Missouri. The second presidential debate will take the form of a town meeting in which half of the questions will be posed directly by citizen participants and the other half will be posed by the moderator based on topics of broad public interest as reflected in social media and other sources. The candidates will have 2 minutes to respond, and there will be additional a minute for the moderator to facilitate further discussion. Well, there'll be an extra minute for the moderator to make sure that the liberal left narrative gets pushed and any other narrative gets crushed. Let's see, the town meeting participants will be the uncommitted voters selected by the Gallup organization. Thanks, Paul. You know what? Is it bad? Am I terrible because I don't trust any of it? Do you trust any of this process at this point? That's from the New York Times business section. What's that? From the 9th. Okay. The 3rd of September, I guess. But do you trust any of this? Anderson Cooper. I had a feeling in my gullet. I had a feeling down in my gut that it was Anderson Cooper. Do you trust that Anderson Cooper is going to keep everything on the up and up? Do you trust that Anderson Cooper is going to keep everything just and fair and equal and balanced and not get in the way and not get his bias in the way? Do you think so? Do you have any feeling that this is going to be a good time? That this is going to be something that we can go, well, now, see, that's how you do it. You let them battle it out, and you stay the hell out of the way. I'm going to give you another sports analogy. This is what these debates have been. This was the first one was like, and the second one, and the vice presidential debate at some point was a little like it. Not as much. It just seemed like that chick was completely and totally out of her league. Completely out of her league. Well, all these events are made for TV events. All of them. All of them are designed to get eyeballs watching. All of them. So here's the deal. So you've got 2 boxers in the ring and a referee in most combat sports like MMA, any martial arts, wrestling, and I'm not talking about WWF and that kind of wrestling, but that too, boxing. And I'll use boxing because boxing, for the most part, isn't crazy like WWF, where you have two boxers, and then the referee, along with the opponent boxer, grabs one of the guys, gets him in the corner, and both beats the crap out of him. And then at the end, after the referee and the other boxer have beaten the crap out of the out of one of the boxers, the referee then stands in the middle of the ring and holds up the hand of the boxer that he helped. It would be like Ali Frazier, and the referee decided to help Frazier. And when they got Ali in the corner, they both started wailing away. And then at the end of the match, the referee held up, no matter what, held up Frazier's hand as a winner. And that's what these debates are about. No matter what happens, the liberal left will hold up the hand of Hillary Clinton as the winner, just like the liberal left will hold up the hand of Tim Kaine as the winner. Regardless, I don't understand why we let this go on. I don't understand why we pay any attention to it. I don't understand why we care. The idea, my thought is the idea is just screw it. Win the damn election. You've already made up your mind. Get as many people to the polls. Early voting starts here in a couple of weeks as you possibly can. The 72-hour thing, history. Nobody does that crap anymore. Early vote. If they have early voting where you are, make sure that all the mail-in ballots that are sent to Republicans are sent back. Vote for your candidate and make sure that they win. That's what you do. Screw the narrative of mainstream media by supporting causes that fight against it. Take CNN off your favorites list. Screw them. Put on Breitbart. Put on Town Hall. Put on FightBackMedia.com instead. You see, and that's the thing. I think also, I talked about this when I was talking about the urban community and the Democrat Party have this sort of weird, I think is this sort of weird abused spouse relationship with the Democrat Party. I think that the conservatives and Republicans have the same sort of relationship with the mainstream media. We've got this weird relationship with the media, with the mainstream media and pop culture, especially mainstream pop culture, that hates you, hates everything you stand for, but you can't stay away from it. You can't keep your eyes off of it. You can't. You've got to continue to participate. You got to continue to go to their movies. You got to continue to buy their records. You've got to continue to participate. You have to, you watch their videos, you love their songs, you love their music, you love their acting, you love all that stuff while they take your money and spit right in your face. Slap you every day, telling you what kind of horrible person you are, what kind of misogynist, xenophobe, bigot, racist you are. But you love them. You think that they're so cool. You love their movies. You love their crap. You can't stay away from it. We've got this sort of weird abused spouse relationship where they just whip your ass every night, but every morning you get up with a black eye and you're still in love. How? Does that make any sense? You care about their polls? Oh, we got to be careful. We got to be careful because the press is going to go into blah, blah. I don't. You know what? I've told people here, I don't give a damn about the press. I don't give a damn about Pravda. We have Pravda here, St. Petersburg Times. I don't give a damn about them. I don't give a damn about the Florida Sentinel Bulletin. I don't give a damn about any of these people around here, any of the news media around here. I don't give a damn about them, about what they think about me and how I say things and how I do things. I don't care. What we have to understand is that these are all businesses, and they live because they exist because people care. Well, stop caring. Stop being so reactionary that you're caring, that you're afraid that if you say this, then the press will twist it. Well, you know what? If you went ahead and supported your own media, if you supported people who were going to be honest, at least honest, and fight back against mainstream media's narrative, then you wouldn't have to be running around scared of getting your ass whooped every time Anderson Cooper got on the TV. Who cares? Screw Anderson Cooper. Who care? But we don't. So we've got this weird this abused spouse relationship with mainstream media. When time after time there have been organizations that have come and gone that have said, no, leave that, come over here. Leave that, come over here. And we do that with everything. We know that Facebook has decided that some of the people working for Facebook have throttled back conservative posts and even put conservatives who post stuff in Facebook jail. Twitter, the very same thing. But every single time, and it's happened a bunch, that somebody who is conservative has given conservatives an alternative, it has simply not caught on. Because we just can't leave this. We're stuck here on Facebook. We're stuck here on Twitter. We're stuck here on Snapchat. We're stuck here in the places that they hate you. And they want to see you crushed. They want to see you destroyed. We continue to put money in Zuckerberg's pocket. We continue to support Twitter. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not on either of these things. Full disclosure, I don't want to seem like I'm a big hypocrite when I do a Facebook Live video. I'm thinking that probably in the course of this, I will be put in Facebook jail. I've never been put in Facebook jail before. I've never been put in Twitter jail. I'm guessing that at some point soon I probably will be. But that's okay. I'm just here to make a point. That's what we're doing here. Today, our goal today is we need 7 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. 7 people. We don't need 10,000 people. We need 7 at $25 a piece to get to our goal of $175 for the day. 7. And if you ask me how I came up with 7, I figured 7 was a little bit more than 5, less than 10. And $25 wasn't a humongous sum of money. I'm not asking for anybody to write a $500 check. Well, unless you want to write a $500 check. I'm not asking anybody to write a $500 check. And $25 was a modest amount of money. And I thought about doing it any number of ways where you could have 75 people all do $1. But now you got to involve 75 people. Paul Sponsor writes in the chat room, talk about Hillary's health issues, and that will get people's attention about putting you in social media jail. Yeah, you start talking about she's sick on Facebook, they'll put your ass in Facebook jail as fast as you can type in your password. That's what that is, and that's the relationship that we continue to have and be afraid of, and be afraid of moving. You know what? In the past few years, I have seen a number of alternatives, so-called Facebook alternatives, are places where conservatives can go and be honest. Can be honest. You know what? And they simply not get supported. You know what? I did a show for a few months here earlier this year for Grassfire. You know, for Grassfire.com. Grassfire.com has a pretty vibrant Facebook alternative. It's got pretty much all the features except for Facebook Live and that kind of stuff, but pretty much all the same features. You could post stuff that you'd found. You could friend. You could do a bunch of stuff. There was a premium access that you could have access to, of course. But getting people to make the move was just damn near impossible. And I sat here in front of this mic and damn near begged people to make the move. But it was like the abused spouse. They were afraid to. They were. I don't know if you were afraid if Mark would find out and come to your house and whip your ass. I'm not sure why you were afraid, but people were afraid. It was an alternative. But you didn't take the alternative. You stayed with the people who were abusing you. You stayed with your abuser. All right, we got to get out of here. Listen, thanks so much for coming. Thanks, Paul, for coming. Thanks for helping. We got to get out of here. Listen, we will. I don't know if we'll be back later in the day. It depends, frankly. After I leave my meeting with Gary Knight of New Home to Tampa Bay, we'll see where we are in our fundraising goals. Yeah, that's the story. Mark coming to your home to kick your ass. Yeah, thanks, Paul. So we got to go and meet with him. It depends where we are with our fundraising goals. We need 7 people, just 7, $25 to reach our goal for the day. We can do that together. What we're doing is worth it. All right, till we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.